What is even going on? Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh. How's it going? Dang. Oh my gosh. I was like, is Stream Elements freaking out right now? Is my bot freaking out? Oh my gosh. Dude. Oh man, how are you guys doing? Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. I can't believe, is this real life? I can't believe what was just going on. I was like looking at my alerts. I see something out of the corner of my eye, just like moving. And I'm like, no way. Oh my gosh. So, wow, man. So let me just go through this real quick before I go into everything else. Man, thank you so much. So HomeLab new resub, Prime, 6 months, dude, 6 months. Thank you so much. I'm going to put on my hat. Hold on. Oh, that's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. All right. It's casual time. Dude, so, oh my gosh, what is even going on? Hype train level 5, 273%, whatever that means. I mean, it means something awesome, that's for sure. Oh my gosh. Dude, you guys are so crazy. How's it going? Happy Tuesday. Oh man, this is pretty awesome, man. Thank you guys so much. Let me go through this real quick. It won't stop. Maybe I'll be calling this out the whole time. HomeLab new resub 6 months. I said that, but dude, thank you so much for the 6 months continued support. Really appreciate it. PC Geek, how's it going, man? Resub tier 1, 4 months, dude. Thanks so much, man. 4 months, appreciate it. Yay, keep up the good work, Tim. Love the videos, and what a great place to hang out and chat with fellow geeks. I totally agree. I was thinking about that when I was getting ready for the stream. You know, I always get a little bit nervous thinking like, okay, how's it going to go? What am I going to say? What happens if I run out of things? And I was like, this is the time I get to totally geek out on like all the things that like, you guys are working on, I'm working on, all the things we're interested in. So it's so crazy. Dude, PC Geek. Dude, thank you so much, man. Dude, really appreciate it. PC Geek. Let me I got to start from the bottom. Let me see. But anyways, what I was saying, just following up to PC Geek comment about hanging out with fellow geeks, I totally agree. Like, I look forward to it, to talking about these things, because these are the things that are in my head all day. And I'm like, these are the things that used to be trapped in my head for years, and I could never get it out. So now that there are people around to talk about who have common interests, now we can talk and geek out about the same kind of things. My mic's a little bit in a weird spot right now. I can't figure it out. It feels weird to me to be able to read down here. I did some moving around, I feel like, but I didn't. But PC Geek, dude, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Continued support. Ilude, dude, 5 gifted subs. Dude, Ilude, thank you so much, man. Hope you're doing well. Dude, thank you so much. Man, it is a party in here. Lights are changing. Link has been spinning for like 5 minutes straight. Lights are flashing. But thank you so much, Ilude. Dude, 5 gifted subs. So let's see. Who got those gifted subs? T Grove, Import Sis, Lincoln Shadow, D Holmeyer, and 5 Minute Coding. Hey, thanks to Ilude for your gifted subs. And then Skidito Rabito, 5 gifted tier 1 subs. Oh my gosh, you guys are so crazy. So TBS to TBS backer, I'm going with that. Absinthe, I'm Lymanson, Aiden, Benetti, I can't read that one, too long and too far away. And Lost Cause, thanks Skatito Rabito for your gifted sub. Dude, you guys are going crazy. And then P. Diddy, dude, 20 gifted subs. What? Oh my gosh, what? Oh, dude, P. Diddy, dude, that is insane, dude. Hope you're doing good. Haven't seen you in a while. I'd be happy if you just said hello, but man, 20 gifted subs. I'll call them real quick. Pocket, Fritz, Slicer, Green, John, Shadow, Tech, Kulk, Scowl, Scobit, Lucas, Mogo, Dad Bot, Mateus, Purely Mayhem, Milkshake Bot, LMX Blade, No Nox, Sis Live, Fathead. Hey, Fathead, how you doing? And MK Lam and Sunjun. Thank P. Diddy for the gifted subs. Dude, enjoy them. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, you guys are so crazy. And I'm still going up the line. A couple follows. Bobby Digital, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. That happened right as the intro and all the festivities were going on. And Raps California, I can't read that one. Callan Reeves, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Sorry if I totally slaughtered that name. It's kind of far away. Weird angle for me. And then, dude, BC Geek, man, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Hype train level 5. Oh my gosh, you guys are so crazy. PC Geek, dude, 5 tier 1 gifted subs. Dude, thank you so much, man. You guys do so much already, man. I feel I feel bad. Thank you so much. You guys do so much already. And then, like I said, just being here is more than enough, more than I could ever even imagine. But PC Geek, thanks so much, dude. Appreciate it. He gifted 5 subs. So let's see. Grouse, Gruias, T. Groutman, Jetty C, Ink Faust, and Meji. Hey, enjoy your gifted sub from the PC Geek. Man, you guys are awesome. Let me give me 1 second. I got to adjust some headphone level stuff. Something's peaking in my ears, but maybe not for you guys. My mixer, I don't know. Mixer looks okay to me over there, but let me know if things sound kind of weird to you. Anyways, happy Tuesday. What's everyone working on? How's everyone doing? I know, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to get through this list of chat? I got to scroll to the top. Yeah, curious what you guys were working on. Man, I see new faces and new names in Discord almost every day with new problems or new challenges or new moments of joy where we're celebrating that somebody's fixing something or working on something or got something working for the first time. It's so incredible and so it's so awesome to see. So anyways, I just wanted to take a time out to say, yeah, thank you everyone in Discord for joining, for helping, for everything. And it's awesome seeing people dig in and try technology for like the first time ever and get it working. And then, experiencing that joy to say, yes, it's working, or finally, that moment of joy. Oh my gosh. So anyways, but yeah, thank you so much. Dude, 10 Bows J gifted tier 1 sub. Damn, to Damn Killer. Enjoy your gifted sub from 10 Boss J. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that properly. Dude, P Diddy, dude, 5 more, dude. P Diddy, man, how are you doing? P Diddy gifted 5 more subs, dude. Dude, you're more than so gracious, dude. The Silver Raspy Antri, Kuroikage-san, and Shivam, enjoy your gifted sub from P Diddy. And then Dark Star Force, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Oh my gosh. So I'm probably gonna be so far behind on comments, but I'm just gonna hop right in. Yeah, but like I said, yeah, let me know what you're working on. Let me know if you have any problems. I know I say that all the time. My video is like, hey, hop in if you have a problem. If you don't have a problem, it's totally fine too. You can hang out. We can chat. We can talk about tech. We can talk about anything. That's what this is for. It's for you guys. So anyways, from the top, I'm gonna do some more adjusting. I don't know. I did something. Yeah. Anyways, I won't go into it. My audio problems. I wish I was better at audio, but I have 2 mics now that I have to switch between, and 2 mic settings and 2 OBS settings, and it's just I bounce back and forth. I feel like every time I do it, I miss one setting, even though I have profiles saved and they're all set right. But anyways, Mafney was first in here, Mafney. It's always DNS. It is. PC Geek, how's it going? Stream Hype, Home Lab New, sure is. How's it going, man? PC Geek, you got some awesome emotes, man. 2020 Takeout, 2020 Wish, DNP3, nice. Dude, nice. Ilude, how's it going, man? What's up, man? Shivam, how are you? Hey, I'm good. How are you doing? Ink Faust, good morning from Tokyo. Ohio gozaimasu. So what, it's about 9? I'd say it's about 9 a.m. there in Tokyo. Or yeah, in Tokyo, yeah, because they're about 14 ahead. Ohio gozaimasu, Ink Faust-san. PC Geek, yay, keep up the great work. Yeah, I love the videos, hang out, a great place with fellow geeks. Yeah, that was part of your sub message. Dude, appreciate it so much. Thank you so much. California, hooray, able to catch the show live. Hey, thank you. Yeah, it's pretty loose format. It's whatever you guys want to talk about, kind of, sort of. So let me know, but glad you made it. Sigor, how's it going? Glad you made it. Gigafied, how's it going? Pog, for sure. Raspy, hey Tim, how's it going? Hey, it's going great, man. It was pretty low key today. Day of work and day of kind of just solving some problems for work, and now I get to hang out with you guys. Well, obviously had dinner with my wife. That was fantastic too. But now it's it goes from 0 to 60 as soon as I hit that go live button. I realize, man, it goes. I have to keep this energy up the whole entire time. That's what I'm always afraid of. Dude, Dark Star Force. I got to get this right. Dark Staros. Thanks for the sub. Prime sub. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. I can't tell if like my bot's broken and those keep flashing because, or if it's because of subs. I think it's the subs. I'll go with that. Dougie Freshness. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. I'm like so off my routine now that I'm like, what do I even do next? Anyways, I'll get into some of your content. So let's see what's going on here. Shivam, need your advice. Hey, I'm here. Shoot it at me. I'll give it to you, and you can either take it or you can give it right back. Home Lab new. Trying to get multiple host network interfaces working. Docker can't seem to get it working. Yeah, that's I'll be honest, I've never done it. It's something I've wanted to do before, haven't done it. I know exactly what you want to do. Like maybe you want to have some containers attached to one of your network interfaces and only communicate on that one. Like totally get the use case, never had to do it. Yeah, let me know what you're running into. Maffney, nothing at the moment, just here hanging out. All right. California 909. Please save me from my frustration from Ansible. Oh man, I feel like Ansible cured a lot of my frustration. Like I before I did that video, like I knew next to nothing except for kind of, you know, what it was and what problem it was trying to solve. I mean, I'm still not an expert now, but man, I feel like it is so great. The only thing I get frustrated about now is like some of my machines are offline. I'm like, oh yeah, I shut them down. So I wish there was a little bit faster like resolution. And if one was offline, it would skip over it faster and maybe not try, I think, the playbook too. I don't know. I probably have it configured wrong, but man, things have been great since I got it in place. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to install whatever, some tool on every machine. Go, just hit go. It's so great. But what's your frustration, California? Maybe I can help. Lots of sub messages. Oh, P Diddy. Oh, I see how it's gonna be. Yeah, man. Dude, thanks again, man. PC Geek, looks like I'm going to get this job, by the way. Hey, congratulations, man. I know that you've been interviewing for a couple of positions, or this position specifically. Just have to iron out a couple things so I don't lose my tenure. Hey, nice, man. Congratulations, dude. That's awesome. Good for you, man. Hopefully, onward and upward, right? Dude, congratulations, man. That's pretty awesome. I hope you get it, too. So many sub messages I gotta scroll through. Not complaining. Just trying to figure it out. Gotta get this party started. Yeah, man. Oh, let's see here. Homeland new. OMG. Hell yeah. Oh, yeah, that was totally sub hype. Now I need to find the non-sub hype messages. Party starting off with a hype train. Yeah. Gigafied. All right, maybe this is one. Maybe. PC Geek popcorn time for sure. Gigafight, why do you do this to me, Tim? Now I need to multitask between watching awesome games done quick 2021 in your stream. Hey, that awesome games done quick 2021 sounds pretty awesome. I might tune into that. No, I don't know. Yeah, hey, put me on in the background. It's totally fine. Totally fine. P. Diddy, how to start the stream early. Drop subs. Yeah, I know. That is true. I was like, man, because I was a little bit... even though I went live a minute or two late, I was actually ahead of myself as far as tasks I need to do to start out because I did those before I went live. So I kind of reversed the order. So I was like, okay, now I can just totally hang out instead of doing all the other stuff like cleaning my glasses and putting on chapstick and all, making sure my water's open and within reach. But yeah, oh man, so many messages, man. So many messages. I'm getting there. Shivam, liked your video on YouTube. Hey, thanks. What's your problem, Shivam? I know you said you were having some problem. You needed some advice, something about home servers. Let me know for sure. Any questions about anything? I know I've done more than just home server. I know it seems like my channel is a lot about home labs because I really enjoy it and it's a super fun niche and it's something I've always enjoyed. But I've done tons of other things too. Like I'm, software engineer by day. So like home lab and infrastructure stuff is just my hobby, one of many. But yeah, let me know. iLude, gifted subs are cheaper than pizza and more healthy too. All right. I can. Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully that's true for the stream too. Healthy for your mind. How about that? PC Geek, anyone who's new to being a sub, be sure to attach your Twitch and Discord to join, hang out there as well. Yeah, thank you for that, PC Geek. Yeah, if you are new, and you do use Discord, yeah, attach your Twitch account, because then you'll get a nice role in Discord and some other things coming too soon. So I appreciate it. Thank you. P Diddy, it's been a while since I've been a while. Felt generous. Yeah. Rap. Oh, here we go. Rapscallion Reeves. Now I got it. You see, he was on to the side, and this eye is a little bit worse than that one. I'm making excuses, but I think it's Rapscallion Reeves. I definitely butchered it, but it's fine. I'm going with Rapscallion Reeves. Let's see here. Skatito Rubito at Techno Tim running a 1950 and a 2990 WX Threadripper. 2990 is my main server running Proxmox thanks to your tutorials. That's awesome. Yeah, how do you like it running with Threadripper? I've gone back and forth with like my next build. And I said I did a thing. Yeah, I did do a thing with the video card, but I'll talk about that here in a little bit. How do you enjoy your Threadripper? How do you like it? Like, I've considered making my main workstation here a Threadripper. Like, I know it'd be fantastic in a server, but I already have two servers. Actually, I have a lot more than that, but only 2 are on now, and they seem to handle every compute job I can throw at them. But how do you like your Threadripper? I keep trying to convince myself to get one for my main workstation. It looks awesome. I'm glad you got it going. That's awesome that you have a 1950 and your Threadripper in there as your main server and Proxmox running. So awesome. So awesome. Now you just need tons of workloads to throw at it, right? Dark Staros. How are you doing, Tim? I'm good. Thank you so much. Thank you. Man, this is a thank you stream. Skal, hey, how's it going? Didn't get notified when you went live. Did get notified of the gifted sub. Thanks. All right. That's another way to notify people if Twitch notifications aren't working. I'm just going to start gifting subs. Me personally, that'll be the notification. Yeah, it's weird that live notifications didn't work, but that's funny that one snuck through though. I don't know. It seems like the internet has been kind of weird the last couple days, and it maybe not just me. I mean, I know Slack was down yesterday for a long time, an unusually long time. Like, Slack is like, pretty bulletproof, and our company that I work at, we use it all day, and other companies I worked at all day. Like, so many companies like depend on it for communication. And I was so surprised at how long it was down yesterday. But I noticed even on Sunday, there were just weird DNS issues, and even today, just the internet didn't seem right. I feel like there's like been an earthquake or something in the internet, and right now we're just feeling like the tremors or something. I don't know, something didn't feel right. Let me know if you've been having problems. Sigor, still unable to set up the home lab in the new house. Oh, that's all right, but man. Priorities, right? Don't have enough outlets in the basement. Oh, I've been there. I had to get an electrician to come to put in more outlets for me, or better ones too. So instead, I'm reviving my old ThinkPad T61 with Arco Linux and Qtil. I don't know Qtil, but that sounds awesome. Man, T61, did I ever have it? I had a T60. I had so many IBM laptops. When you say ThinkPad, I've had a T40, I've had a T41, I've had a T42, I've had a T60. I don't think I had a T61. And then I had a W510. I think W510 was like the workstation one, like the engineering model, which was like, mechanical engineering model, but, software developers got them too, and they were pretty big. But yeah, I still love ThinkPad so much. Like, I will still, like, when I go and I feel like, old ThinkPad models, like, any of them, T whatever, any of the ThinkPads that were IBM and shortly after Lenovo, they just have the most fantastic keyboard. And I get it, it's not mechanical, and it's nothing like, real mechanical ones or anything. But I always felt that ThinkPads had the best keyboards ever on a laptop. And maybe that's just me, because that's, that was like, I was just out of college, got this new, laptop for work, and it was great. But I will always feel at home on a ThinkPad keyboard, because man, they are great on a laptop. I'm not a huge fan of the chiclet ones on a Mac. I just feel like, it's just not enough. It's not enough for me. Anyways, dude, I hope you enjoy Linux on your ThinkPad. ThinkPad just totally brought me down memory lane, because I had so many. I think I even had a T30, maybe that was my first IBM laptop in the corporate world. But I know T40s and T41s were shortly after. I had both of them. And then because I was doing tech support and I was doing a lot of the desktop imaging and stuff like that, every time there was a new model, I'm like, well, I probably got to have this new model just so I understand it. But our coordinator, he was so cool about it. He would just be like, oh, this one's Tim's. He's got to figure out the new image. Give him the new laptop. I was like, yeah, Dan, that's how you do it. Anyways, but I hope you get it figured out. Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, don't worry about the home lab stuff. At least you got some new tech to play with on your laptop to carry you over so you can get your servers going. New definition of a blade server for sure. Shivam, here's your question. Okay, What is the best GPU to transcoding on a 1U server, Shiva? Yeah, so the best one to transcode, this is kind of, I don't know. I kind of went down this path when I built my 1U servers, and I won't say that quadros are like best, but I found that I think there's 2 or 3 series of the quadro that are like a true 1U that are actually really good. When you say transcoding, I'm just going to assume you mean the plex transcoding. Me personally, I transcode 2 other video streams, and so I use more of the transcoder than just for plex, and not like I'm just saying just plex, but I have a bigger need, I guess, for transcoding. So I went with the P2200. Did I need to? Probably not. Could have got by with the P2000, but they're roughly the same price. And there are other quadro cards you can get to. But the challenge you're going to face with the 1U server is that you only have a one height slot height, a true one height slot. So it can only be as tall as one card, and it can't go any further. So me personally, I went with the NVIDIA Quadro 2200. I know it's NVIDIA and it's Team Green or whatever, but it satisfied a few things for me. One, I can transcode lots of streams now with that one card. And 2, I get NVENC and CUDA, which I could use for software development, but don't, because I'm not doing any AI or ML or stuff like that. But I could, and it's there, and if I want to. So anyways, P2200 worked fantastic for me. Might be kind of spendy. I mean, you're going to spend like $300, but it's kind of hard to find a 1U card, a true 1U card, a decent one. That's going to do what you want. But if you want lightweight transcoding for Plex, yeah, I'm sure there are other ones out there too, older models too, for sure. Hopefully that helps. The Chosen One. That's some crisp audio. All right. Hopefully you meant me, because mine, I'm getting some weirdness. But hopefully you meant me. Hopefully me. But hey, how are you going? The Chosen One. I like it. Juan at the end. I like it. That's good. Bomsy. Great content. Keep coming. All right. I'm going to try. Got something coming. Got something in the works. I mean, I always have something in the works, because every Saturday I got to keep doing it. But I guess something comes Saturday, a little bit lighter content than, hey, let's build out Kubernetes clusters, but we'll see if you like it. OCE, haha, that's my region. All right. I'm Lymanson. Hey, how's it going? Anyone own a disk array shelf? I think this is the next thing I need to buy for my home lab. Yeah, I do. I own a disk array shelf. I'm Lymanson. You probably knew that. And so I went with the DS4246, I think it is, by NetApp. And so it's you can find them on eBay. Sometimes you can find them around $250, maybe $300 bucks. Luckily, there's a company here not too far from here that actually sells tons of them. And so when I bought mine on eBay, they offered local pickup, and I'm like, what? No way. And turns out they were like 10 miles away. I was like, heck yeah, I'll go pick this thing up today. Anyways, I've had a lot of great luck with mine. It's a 24 bay disk array, and it runs really good. Is it the most efficient thing? Probably not, but it runs really good. But yeah, what are your questions about it, any? Techno Tim, yes, yes, you understand perfectly. Let's see. Can't wait to explore this thing together then. Yeah, for sure, man. Dark Staros. I'm going with Dark Staros. Looking at getting one as well. Need an SSD array. I like where this is going. Yeah, I can't wait until I have all SSDs everywhere. So my disk array now is the only thing in my house that has a mechanical hard drive now. If I got rid of that, I wouldn't have any mechanical hard drives. And I'm happy about that. But at the same time, I wish SSD prices would come down just a little bit or a lot more. Thunderstorm. Ansible and SSH keys are killing me. Yeah, let me grab a drink. Yeah, it can be tough. So after I did that video, before I did the video, I had to do some prep work to get SSH keys kind of sorted out. I used password-based authentication for that video because I was like, this is probably where a lot of people are going to be, myself included. But then after that, switching over to SSH keys was actually surprisingly easy. So I just did a SSH copy, obviously to get my key on all those machines. I think it's SSH-copy, and yeah, you can look up the syntax. which will get your machine on those, which will get your key on those machines. But then, the hard part then was adding that key, turning off the account that had a password before, and then changing the root account password to something, enabling the root account on the Ubuntu one, setting it to something really crazy and hard just in case I ever need to get back in, and then setting my current account to SSH key only. Yeah, it's kind of tough. But the initial piece was pretty okay. But I totally get you, Thunderstorm. You'll be in a better place when you get there for sure. Zoid, unfortunately, I'm here to report that you cannot install. Ooh, here we go. You cannot install Rancher on HA Kate's install that was set up with Docker version of Rancher. Yep. Got to start from the group. Yeah, I think you meant ground up. There are issues with CRDs. Yep, the cattle system namespace is a hold that prevents it. I tried hacking it for a little, but decided if it was going to be easy, I could probably write a guide. It's not worth it. Yeah, so I could I can tell you. I mean, it's right in the name. So the Docker install of Rancher is non-HA, and then the HA install of Rancher is HA. So I get it, Zoid. It kind of stinks. There's no easy way to adopt or anything like that. I found that an easy way to migrate stuff, if you're already doing that, is to actually just look at your YAML for each deployment and your load balancers or your ingresses, and copy and paste that YAML and then run it on the other machine. There's going to be a ton of metadata in there that you don't need, but then you can run a kube control deploy with that YAML file, a kube control apply -f, point to that file. That is that YAML that you copy and paste from your other one and deploy that service to your new one. The nice part is, if you go through that exercise, you then have a repeatable way to deploy those services without Rancher too. And if you do that, you're basically doing Kubernetes like everyone else is doing, like the whole world is doing. Most of the places I've worked, don't have a UI for Kubernetes, and if they do, it's just to monitor those services, see their health, maybe scale. But for the most part, your Kubernetes deployments of services, of ingresses or routers, are all done through kube control commands. So anyways, if you go through that migration, save those YAML files somewhere safe, and there's the repeatable way to spin up your infrastructure on any Kubernetes cluster. Maybe not with Rancher, maybe just plain old K3S or you name it, or Kubernetes in the cloud, whatever. While it does kind of stink, and you've had and you got to basically migrate slowly. It's like a manual migration. The nice part is if you save all of those YAML files, then you have an easy way to do it in the future in a repeatable way, and then you can just tear it down. And the cool thing is, kube control apply, it's in that file. The opposite is kube control delete in that file. So you could just do that really quick. Apply, spin up that service. You mess something up, apply or delete now with that file. It'll remove that service. So pretty cool. But yeah, it's I agree. And I've done the migration. How many times have I migrated? I migrated from 1 to 2, and my 2 is non-HA, and then 2 to another server because I got new infrastructure. That wasn't that bad. And again, another reason why I use virtual machines with Ubuntu and Docker, and then Rancher, and not just install Docker on my virtualization host. So that wasn't that bad, but I'm almost through migrating from my non-HA to my HA cluster. I think I have two workloads left. And so I don't know if you saw in Discord, I was complaining about, it was my own fault, but in Let's Encrypt, I totally burned out all of my certificate requests. So, and I think I complained about it a little bit on last stream. It wasn't a complaint. It was a warning for people saying, hey, don't go to production unless you really need to go to production. Anyways, last night I tried it and I got my certificates. So I must have had a different 429. I don't know. If you ever looked at Let's Encrypt's API guidelines and all their error messages, most things say like if you burn them out, you're not going to be able to make those API calls for a week. And that's where I thought I was. But I tried last night and it worked. So I must have been on the 5-day, whatever the 5-day hold is. That's what they had on my certificates. Anyways, so I'm almost there. Anyways, moral of the story is, I would highly recommend, if you can and you have the time, is to create YAML files for your deployments and your services. Instead of doing them through the UI, like I get it. If you're new to the UI, new to Kubernetes, absolutely do it there because it's an easy way to learn. But after you start to learn or you have some time, you should take one of your services that you have in Kubernetes and turn it into create a service in a YAML file and try deploying it that way through kube control. Because then you'll start to realize, oh, like this is really powerful. Like I could have, and you'll start to realize that a lot of the YAML for your services, it's all copy pasta. Anyways, it's copy pasta. Replace a name, replace an ingress maybe a namespace, doubt it, and maybe a couple variables. The rest is copy pasta. And then if it's copy pasta, you can go kube control, apply, whole entire folder. And if you do kube control, -F, or a kube control apply -F to a folder, I mean, you just totally spun out however many services are in that folder, and you can spin up your whole entire infrastructure like that. And you're like, oh, yeah, that didn't work. I had a typo in one file. Kube control delete -F, point to the folder, and just totally burn down the whole entire environment. Anyways, I'm I'm going off on a tangent, kind of, sort of, but I just want to say, like, hey, if you're starting to feel comfortable with Rancher, try doing it the YAML way too, because then you'll start to realize how powerful it is to have kube control and have your Kubernetes API there at your disposal, to where you don't always need to go through the UI too, and you maybe someday you may not even need Rancher. But yeah, anyways, hope it works out well, Zoid. I'm sure it will. We'll be here if not. Skal, also watching the Hades run right now. Thank God for multi-monitor. All right, I love Hades. That was, I loved Hades. I haven't played it in a while. I need to, but Hades is a super good game. I got pretty good at it, but as I played that game, I rarely ever wanted to switch weapons. Maybe it was just me, but once, the sword you start out with, I found was kind of the best. I don't know. That's what I did best with. But anyways, yeah, awesome. Gigafied annual speedrunning event for charity. Awesome, for sure. Amazed Josh, dude, how's it going, man? How have you been? Haven't seen you in a while. Actually, I think I saw you on Twitter the other day. How are you, dude? Hope you're doing well. Sorry, I'm getting caught up on comments. Hope you're still around. Hope you're well, dude. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope streaming's going well for you, and everything's going good with you. I'm Lymanson. Thanks. I'll check out this model. I have also Dell servers at home, and I was wondering if I should stick with the Dell or get a PowerVault. Oh, that was at iLoot. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know PowerVault that well. California, 909, Techno Tim. I'm trying to use Ansible to install software and copy settings. Variables are not working how you would think. I want to use Linux environment variables like home. Works like charm, but the user doesn't. What am I doing wrong or overlooking? Yeah, I can't answer that for you. You'd have to look at some documentation. And if someone knows Ansible a little bit better, let me know. That's interesting that home works, but user doesn't. So I'd have to look. I'd have to see the errors too. But let me know if you have some more information. Sorry, my throat. Ya boy leader. Good morning, good evening. How's it going? iLoot, check out Data Hoarder. Yeah. Shivam, I'm also a software engineer. All right. How's it going? Trying to do a Plex server and automate download. People can request the movie and it will automatically download. That doesn't sound, that doesn't sound legal. But good luck with that. I mean, it's people do it, and I know there are tools out there to do it. But man, that's I've seen it. I've seen that container floating around out there. It's something like Plex Request System, PRS or something. I don't know. But I have seen that out there. It's just like, it's funny that like people just request a movie for people to download. That's like, whoa, like you now accepting that liability on yourself because someone wants to watch a movie. Whew. But hope it works out for you, Shivam. Sorry, my speech is all off today. Mark M went from 6 Raspberry Pis around the house to 1 Proxmox server because of your guide. All right. I've been noticing lately people have been like, so let me preface this whole thing with like, I struggle a lot with like keeping servers on, keeping lights on all the time, and using a lot of power. I've been justifying it by saying like, well, I have some workloads that need to run that need a little more horsepower than a Raspberry Pi. For instance, I run Blue Iris, and I have a lot of other, semi little things, but that require more compute than a Pi has. And so in the back of my head, I'm always thinking like the opposite of what you're doing now, because you were probably like, okay, I need more compute than Pi, so I'm just gonna build a server and go to Proxmox. And I'm thinking in my head the opposite. I'm like, how do I use less compute so I can go to Pis? But I'm glad you're on Proxmox. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Let us know, if you have any problems. And man, what was the container or workload that made you shift from Pis over to x86 or 64 or Intel processors, AMD processors? Let me know. PC Geek, I think you can add ignore. Sorry, my throat. I think you can add ignore unreachable for playbooks. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I should do that. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for that tip. Because I'm not an expert. But yeah, thank you. I'll definitely check that out for sure. Because that's one of the things where like, sometimes Ansible's like, I'm not. It's not always clear what it's doing. I mean, I know it's doing what I tell it to do, but sometimes I'm like, are things timing out? Or I wish there were progress bars. I know you get a status report at the end, but I want some kind of spinner per host or something to say it's busy. Maybe I should just trust in the tool some more. Gigafied. They started on Sunday. They already raised $500,000. That is awesome. Congratulations for them, for sure. Got 80K. That is so crazy. Amaze Josh, just built my fiance gaming streaming PC and we've been streaming together. Anything new with you, Tim? Hey, dude, that is awesome. Glad, man, that is awesome. Hope you and your fiance are doing well. Nothing too much new with me. I mean, I've always got something little, I guess, kind of new, but nothing, it's kind of rinse and repeat as it has been for the last few months, with working from home and stuff like that. Dude, you bought her a gaming streaming PC. I remember you talking about your fiance, it's probably like 6 months ago, and said you wanted to stream with her. Hopefully she's enjoying it. And what games are you guys playing? You play Call of Duty, don't you? I think you do. But let me know. And what processor and video card did you go with? The most important question, Crazy T, definitely get the TR. I have one in my unraid box with a few VMs underutilized for TR. But absolutely love it. Had set up with ESXi for a bit before I decided to go unraid for reasons. All right, another Threadripper lover. I do like I would love to have it, especially like in my workstation here. That's where I'm really considering it. But once you go into that Threadripper class of processor, it's more expensive motherboard. I'm probably going to get tons of RAM because why not? Like, why would I not have tons of RAM? That's where I'm kind of like a little bit iffy on it. I know that AMD 5900s are really hard to get a hold of now. I keep getting alerts that they're in stock, out of stock at Best Buy like every other day. Usually it's Tuesdays. I think, little tip, Best Buy gets new stock on Tuesdays. And I ended up picking up something up today. Anyways, I still go back and forth. Am I going to build, a 5900 AMD machine, or am I going to wait to see what Intel has? And I keep going back and forth on that because today, I actually got a hold of, oh man, I can't even believe I did it, but a 5090, sorry, 50, what am I even trying to say? NVIDIA video card today that I should show you. Well, I don't have to show you it. But I've been signing up for these alerts. Someone mentioned these alerts that you could sign up for to know when video cards and CPUs were in stock. I think it's, I don't know, hot stock or something like that. And I was like, I'll sign up. And then for a while I was getting alerts and I was like, every time I go, they would be out of stock. And then I started realizing there's a pattern that, at least with Best Buy, that when they get new stock, I think they just sit on it until Tuesday. Either that or they release it all on Tuesday, little by little, throughout the day. And it's usually about 10 or 11 o'clock Central Time. And I didn't figure out that pattern for a couple of weeks. And then when it went off today, I was like, oh yeah, it's Tuesday. So I'm just going to kind of camp out on the Best Buy page. And next time I get an alert, I'm just going to refresh it. And I did that today. And I actually added a 3090 to my cart. And I was like, oh, like if this was a 3080, this would be a done deal. Like I wouldn't even think twice about it. But you know, the 3090 is twice the price of a 3080 NVIDIA. Anyways, needless to say, I did it, and I get it on Sunday, so we'll see. We'll see. I still have 15-day return policy, but I think I'm going to end up using it. Anyways, so long story short, going back to what I'm going to build from the next PC, the weakest link in my PC right now has been my video card. I mean, it powers the stream. It does most of what I needed to do, but it starts showing its age during video editing, and if I were to start playing games and streaming at the same time, that's where you'd really notice. Fortunately, the only thing it's doing right now is encoding this. You know, I'm playing it down, doing a lot of work, but for the most part, a lot less work than it would be doing if I was playing a game and streaming. So, anyways, it's the weakest link, and 3080s didn't come in stock, at least to Best Buy today, and I wanted the Founders Edition. So, anyways, I pulled the trigger on a 3090. I don't know what I'm doing, but I was thinking in my head like, if I let this go, then who knows when I'm going to get a 3080, and then, you know how that goes. Anyways, we'll see how it goes. Anyways, crazy. That's awesome on your Threadripper build. I keep wanting to do it. I need someone just to say, yeah, it's absolutely fantastic for, you know, the tasks you do. And I'll be like, okay, I'm all in, you know, cause I'm not running a ton of virtualization on this machine. I mean, a majority of what I do on this machine is coding and content creation. And I don't compile my code because I'm JavaScript and some TypeScript. So I guess I transpile, but I don't have long compile times or anything like that because it's all runtime. So anyways, I would love a Threadripper, but then also like their next gen Threadrippers may or may not be out this year. Sorry, it's 2021. And I know that, you know, AMD, they're just keeping that in their back pocket to wait to, you know, until Intel announces something. And they'll be like, oh yeah, well here's, you know, whatever, Zen 3 Threadripper. Anyways, but yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. Hope you enjoy your Threadripper. I'm just like the cost piece gets me a little bit. Like I said, my video card's been the weakest link. So now I can upgrade my video card, maybe get some more life out of my current build, but we'll see. We'll see. Inkfaust, didn't even notice Slack being down. All right, because it was probably down for you. So for me, so you're in Tokyo. So here it was about 10 o'clock Central, 9 Central. And so for you, it would have been 11 at night. So, and then, you know, most of Japan, I doubt is working. Well, enterprises in Japan might not be working at 11 at night, but yeah, for us, at least it was for a couple of hours, which was odd. I was like, how do I even IM someone? I can't right now. It was very quiet yesterday and weird. Shivim. So that's why I asked the transcode best GPU. I have a Dell server, 12 core, 24 threads. Yeah. So Shivim. So, you know, yeah, I mean, I would say go with a Quadro because it's a little bit easier. But I've transcoded on consumer grade cards. So these are both in my junk drawer now, quote unquote junk drawer now, because they're not being used. But I have a 1050 NVIDIA GTX I've done transcoding on. I have a 1650 as well. That's been fine. But they won't fit in a 1U server. And that's why I ended up getting a Quadro P2200 is because it's a true 1U or one PCI Express height slot that can fit in a 1U because there's not enough space. But I would also, I would challenge even needing a GPU to do transcoding, because CPU or software base, which is only going to be your CPU, is pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, is it going to make your CPU run a little hotter? Sure. But that's, on the opposite end. Otherwise, you're going to have a GPU in a slot running all the time. Depending on how many transcoding jobs you have to run. For me, what I learned, and I've been a lifetime FlexPass subscriber for a long time. And what I found over the years is that I need to transcode less and less and less. And the reason why I need to transcode less and less and less is because more and more devices are supporting direct play, which means that my CPU has less work to do because it doesn't have to transcode. So it means that the devices, the endpoints or the touch points, all the endpoints that it's sending out my stream to, which is very small because it's like my family, all have devices that support direct play, which means they don't need to transcode the stream. They can play it directly without needing it encoded or transcoded for them. Oh my gosh. I don't know why my other noises, my other alerts aren't making noise, but dude, Inkfaust gifted 5 tier 1 subs. Dude, thank you so much. Dude, Inkfaust-san. Domo arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you so much. Inkfaust gifted 5 tier 1 subs. Drutro, Type Cookie, Ringkill, Bombsy, and Navy Cop. Hey, how's it going, Navy Cop? Hope you're doing well. Dude, thank Inkfaust for gifted subs. So thank you. Dude, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. But anyways, what I was saying, and I'm not trying to talk you out of buying a GPU just to dedicate to transcoding. But this has been my experience is that GPU transcoding for on the plex on the server side, I'm needing it less and less because most people are then having modern devices that support direct play, like PlayStations, like Xboxes, like iPhones, iPads, Android phones, Android tablets. The only time you'll run into it is if it really needs to transcode to a lower bit rate because of bandwidth. Otherwise, it's like direct play all the time. And so that's why I kind of moved one of my GPU tasks out from Plex and just let it do, let it based on the CPU because it was rare. It almost became rare. Like more plays were done without needing transcoding than with transcoding. So anyways, I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I'm just reporting my findings. And as people get more and more modern devices, the more and more those devices support direct play that don't need transcoding anyway. So anyways, but it is nice though for transcoding, like if you want to transcode and take media offline and put it on devices, absolutely it's going to use it then. But dude, Shivam, dude, thank you so much. Sub. No, that was a gifted sub. Gifted sub, Shivam, tier 1 to MDIM. Dude, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. I don't know why my alerts aren't going off. It's so, I mean, I know I have lights flashing and link coming up, but I'm just used to hearing that 8-bit noise. Anyways, PC Geek, I think I had a T220. Nice. Half Cyan, I finally caught a stream. Been trying to catch one for weeks now. Hey, glad you're here. Thank you. ThinkPads are great, for sure. Absinthe, I got a T460s and X260 sitting on my desk right now. I forgot about the X ones. The X were like the little mini mobile ones. Yeah, like an X50 or something. I don't know. This is old school stuff. Dude, Geeky Fez. Dude, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Appreciate it. Sigor, I had a T something P, but sold it on eBay for a good price. Wasn't using it anymore. Yeah, I think they're awesome devices for sure. Giga5 P2000 is very high on the list for top GPUs for transcode. All right, yeah. When I was looking, it was like between that and a P2200, and like the price was like negligible, so I ended up going with the 2200. I don't know if 2200 is better or worse than a 2000. You would think, just in the numbering or the model number, that it would be better, but I wonder if the 2000 is better at some tasks. Either way, they're kind of pricey, but at the same time, this card's gonna last me for years, especially what it's dedicated to do. Bombsy, ThinkPad is greater than Nokia. It's greater than Rock. Stronger, yeah. Half Cyan, do you have any suggestions about getting into a home lab? Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because I was kind of thinking about this earlier today. Let me grab a drink real quick, and I do. So I was just thinking about this earlier today, and I'll spill the beans about, I guess, some of my plans or content, but some people ask that same exact question, and I've had, different answers most of the time, but I want to have one great answer, and maybe I'll put it in a video someday, and this isn't really well formed, but I was thinking of that same question because there's a lot of people who want to get started with a home lab today. They're like, man, this is great. Like I can run all these services and I can do all these things. And so a lot of people ask me that question. I usually, start with, hey, use something you already have, which I totally wholeheartedly agree in. But sometimes some people don't even have a second device. And so, I would encourage you, half Cyan, if you don't have a second device, is to start on the machine that you're on now. Start with VirtualBox and spin up a virtual machine or two on that machine. And get them going. Maybe explore Linux, explore Windows or whatever operating system, or explore Linux and Docker and get that running within that local machine, within something like VirtualBox. And that's an absolutely free way to get started today. I mean, that means you have a machine, but that's an easy way to get started today and kind of understand, what some of the things that people who have home labs do. You could spin up a Linux virtual machine on your own machine, minimize it, act like it's somewhere else, SSH into it, give it a host. So if you do it, I would recommend set up host networking. So it grabs an IP address on your network too, rather than using NAT. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just use host-based networking on VirtualBox. And then it will be a client on the same network that you're on. And then you can just minimize it and act like it's a server in your basement. I know that doesn't sound fun. But you can SSH into it and do a lot of the things that you can do just as if it was a server in your basement or in your attic or in the other room or right next to you. And so you could get started today and even build up these services and play around, and using something as simple as VirtualBox. And then if you want to move on from there and you don't have a lot of money, or maybe you have constraints on power or money, I mean, Raspberry Pi is a good first step. I mean, less than $100, you can have a whole entire, Pi 4 kit, power supply, little hard drive, and do some lightweight compute tasks and kind of the same thing. Then you have something that can stay on, maybe 24/7 or when you want to power it up and power it down, but a real physical machine. And then, if that compute is not enough for you, then it's, then you're going into desktop or server class processors. Or desktop grade type stuff. I wouldn't go server unless you really, really are going to get into it. But you can find some good deals on server stuff. And so that's kind of always the progression, I think, in my head when people say they want to get started today. Sometimes it doesn't even take hardware to get started. There's a lot of free open source software that you can run on your own machine and keep that totally segmented from your own machine in that environment, messing up your local machine. But you can run a virtual machine on VirtualBox or something like that and keep it, segmented and containered. Not really containerized like Docker, but, containerized as in segmented away from your own machine's environment and keep it all isolated in VirtualBox. Anyways, so then if you just want to keep going, then what I usually recommend next is, get an old PC, get an old server from somewhere, something that's already there that doesn't cost any money. If that doesn't work, then, you have a couple of options. If you have a PC now, I usually recommend after that, upgrade your current PC. Upgrade the PC that you're on and use your previous PC for your next server, because that's most likely going to have way more compute than you need, and then you get a nice little upgrade, desktop PC upgrade, that you're going to probably use more than your server, arguably. Or where performance is absolutely going to matter because you're sitting in front of it watching the spinner spin. And then if that's not enough, that's when it's like, okay, start buying used enterprise gear if you can, or if you want, or build out, something newer, custom, with maybe enterprise grade stuff. So anyways, that's my progression. Someday I'll document it all and put it somewhere, but that's kind of always my recommendation. But if you can get something from someone for free or really cheap, go for it. If you can afford the power, for sure. Hopefully that helps, half Cyan. Your boy Leader, my first ThinkPad was a T420, loved it. All right, love ThinkPads. I do love ThinkPads. I forgot how much I did. Gigafied, step one, have a passion for hardware. Yeah, Gigafied, yeah, for sure. I think that definitely feeds into it, for sure. Having a passion for hardware, for networking or exploring networking. But yeah, I think so too. I think that feeds into why I like home lab stuff and why I just like infrastructure in general. And I think it's because I love hardware. It's because I like making systems run and do stuff. I don't know. And I think, going back to tech support, I built a lot of systems, imaged a lot of systems, automated a lot of things, and saw a lot of things, racked a lot of servers too. So it was just like, that's kind of where my passion started growing for that. And as I went through software, this then became my hobby. So Soberbot was, hey, how's it going? Gigabyte step 2, start collecting. Yeah, I'm at the part where I'm starting to shed some. I don't know if you see my Twitter stuff, but I'm starting to shed some of my hardware now. It's been a short run. Hey, Mac Armstrong. Hey, thanks for the raid. Appreciate it. One viewer. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it though. Yeah, I don't know. My R720, I've now officially decommissioned. It's on my workbench. I've wiped everything, and I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet. I'm kind of at the crossroads with it. It's a super great system, but I can't. I don't want to afford to keep it on all the time because it uses a lot of power. And if it was my only system, absolutely I would, because I did that for over a year. But now I'm starting to shed hardware. I mean, not my junk pile. Not my 4 or 5 junk drawers or junk bins. I'm not shedding those, but hardware complete, I think I'm going to start selling so other people can get some enjoyment out of it. Ilude, step 2, be prepared to have things not work the first time, and sometimes the 10th time too. Yeah, 10th or 11th or you name it. You name it. There's a lot of troubleshooting involved when you start building your own home lab stuff. Especially when you start getting, older gear too, or piecing together stuff from existing stuff. Yeah, it can totally, it can go south real quick, for sure. Sigor, Qtile is a tiling window manager, like Awesome Window Manager, or DWM. Nice, thank you. Yeah, thanks for clarifying. I had no idea what it was. I've been running it in Linux for years and Arch for a while too, and I'm finally diving into tiling window managers instead of GNOME. Nice. Yeah, Arch I hear is so customizable. Everything. And if I had enough courage, I would try it too. I'm okay with GNOME. I mean, I rarely use Linux with a GUI anyways. So most of the time on GUI Mac, GUI Windows. GUI Linux for me is rare. It's usually terminal Linux. I would love to though. I would love to. And if I didn't build iOS apps as part of one of my responsibilities at my job, I would totally put Linux on my Mac, or I would have stayed on a Windows machine but put Linux on it for sure. I totally would have. But yeah, it sounds awesome. PC Geek, cooling can be an issue too in one-use servers. Yeah, for sure it can. Like the fans, just due to how small they are and how high the RPMs need to go, they can get kind of loud. Mine surprisingly aren't. Everyone says in my 1U video, hope you like loud stuff. Mine's surprisingly quiet. I was surprised. It's definitely quieter than it was when I had my Dell R710 and my PC conversion server running, because those two got replaced with my 2 1Us, and it's surprisingly quieter and a lot less power too. Half Cyan, does anyone use home lab space? Use Unraid? Oh yeah, a lot of people use Unraid. I know it was paid, but from what I heard, it's pretty good. Yeah, for sure. Half Cyan, like it's a goodie. It's a pretty good product, and I would say, like, I haven't used it myself. Absolutely nothing against it. It seems like they're trying to be very user friendly, community based. And sure, it's a paid product. Like, I get it. Companies need to survive. I say this all the time. I haven't said it a lot lately, but companies need to survive. If they don't charge for something, they won't survive unless they're a charity. So I don't fault them for offering a commercial product, because I think they do it really, really well. And maybe that's a first step for people who maybe aren't as familiar. I mean, I think that's a lot of reason why people choose a Synology or some other NAS kind of all in one system too, is because one, either they don't want to how do I say this? They don't maybe they don't care about what the operating system is, as long as it works. And I'm not trying to generalize about people and why they buy NASs, because everyone has their own use case for a NAS. But I some of my friends that have them, they're just like, I want something that just works. And, and those are things that I can recommend to friends and say, hey, grab this. You want backups? You want a NAS? You want Plex easy? Yeah, grab this. Like, zero problems. But, and I see Unraid kind of being like in between, like where it's like, okay, you want to bring your own hardware, but we'll provide some really good software. And they figured out a lot of the really hard problems: GPU pass-through, getting Docker or containers running or virtualization. Like all of those things you're going to have to learn how to set up, get running, working, stabilizing in your own setup. And I think Unraid's done a really good job at doing that and packaging it up in a consumer-friendly way. But that's not to say it's not an advanced tool. It absolutely is. But they're kind of sitting in between, a consumer-facing product, but bring your own hardware and we'll be the software. So it's really cool, really cool. Gigafied, I used Unraid for simple bulk storage. Hey, here we go. iLoot, Proxmox is the favorite around here, for sure. Yeah, I'm a huge fan, for sure. Gigafied, Proxmox for proper VM setup. I agree. 10 balls. For anyone looking at a server, check out LabGopher. Oh, nice. I don't know LabGopher. I'm Lymanson. Just finished racking up server number 3 in my server rack. Nice. I think I'll have this 27U rack filled up by the end of the year. Oh, man. You got a lot of time. Well, I think, you got what, 360, 50, I don't know, 59 days? I don't know. I can't do math right now. But man, 27 U's full. I actually have holes in my rack. I didn't have any holes. I had a 1U hole in my rack a couple weeks ago. Now I have about 6U. It's kind of weird. I went from racking my whole 18U to now pulling stuff out of it. But yeah. Hey, I realized that I don't have since my alerts aren't audible, I haven't been calling them out. So Mac Armstrong, I think it said that. Yeah, you rated. Thank you so much. They call me Tojo. Hey, thanks. The Tojo turn. Tojo was a Japanese general, and there was a famous battle where he did the Tojo turn. Anyways, Japanese history. Tojo, hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. MCB6739, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Crazy T. Oh, just picked up a half shelf, waiting on cables and card to get here. Can't wait to try it out. Awesome. I love that you guys are so excited for this stuff. I am too. Half Cyan. I think Unraid is good for storage because it's parity. Yeah, and Unraid is good for, there are many reasons why Unraid's good, but storage is, I guess, pretty easy in it. And they use Merger FS? I don't know. They use something to where their RAID solution is a little more flexible than ZFS. I'll just put it that way. Soberbot. Let me grab a drink. What do you think about Roswell rack? Let me see. What is going on with my music? Go back to there. What do you think about Roswell rack mount cases and probably some ATX motherboards and Ryzen CPU for a home lab? Absolutely. Go for it. I say go for it. Yeah, custom build is super nice, especially if you go with desktop grade stuff inside of there. I think that's awesome. I did that forever, for a long time, for most of my life. My 720 was the first time I ever had like registered RAM in my whole entire life of having a home lab or a server environment at home. And I have it in my 1Us now. But anyways, long story short, I think the desktop grade is usually pretty fine. I know that people will give you a warning about ZFS and you'll want registered or ECC RAM in there. And I agree with that because it'll help protect against bit rot and things you can't normally detect with non-registered RAM. I think, someone correct me if I'm wrong. But when you start to get into storage in ZFS, that's where I think that ECC is really gonna protect you a little bit more than non-ECC RAM. But otherwise, yeah, go for it. I did it for a long time. Most of my stuff has been desktop grade until my 720, which was a little over a year ago. And now my 2 1U servers are server class processors and RAM and motherboard. But otherwise, I've been doing desktop forever. Like I say, like usual desktop for a server. It's fantastic. But I don't know if a ZFS volume has that. Yeah, it can do that too. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's where I think it might give you some more protection. Just put it that way. Mr. Treenex, woohoo! Finally made it to a live stream. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. How's it going? Lots of folks here like TrueNAS for storage. I allude. Thank you. Yeah, I totally agree. Holy Merc, how you doing, Manny? Hola, how are you, man? Glad to see you. I'm Lymanson. Yep, I use TrueNAS as well. It's awesome. You can manage all your media backups and give out VM storage with iSCSI from one system. It's awesome. Need a disk array, so now I can go all out. Yeah, I totally agree. Like TrueNAS is a great product. It has a lot of bells and whistles, and I think every couple weeks I'm pleasantly surprised that it does something that I wasn't sure it was going to be able to do. At first I used it. Okay, I'm just going to use Samba shares, and then I was like, a couple weeks later, I'm like, no, I'll do iSCSI. Oh, it does iSCSI, all right. And me, I was a total noob to TrueNAS a little over a year ago. So I was like, TrueNAS, all right, that's awesome. Yeah, it does iSCSI. And then I was like, need NFS, and I was like, it's gonna do that. Unix shares, why wouldn't it? And it did. Super easy to set up. A little confusing at first, but once you do the first one, you get it. And then, there's just more and more features that it supports, and I'm just pleasantly surprised. Like the other day, I found out it supports MinIO or document storage, MinIO, basically S3 compatible storage. I was like Googling like, okay, is there a jail or a plugin for this thing? And turns out it's baked right into the product. Just go into services, you toggle it on. Obviously, you gotta give it a little bit of config, but within 20 seconds, you have an S3 compatible storage endpoint in TrueNAS. So I was like, this is actually pretty awesome. So I totally agree. I'm a huge fan of TrueNAS too. I've been running it. You guys know that I run it virtualized, but I pass through my HBA controller and it's been running fantastic. But yeah, I totally love it. Lots of fans in here for sure. Sorry, my throat is super dry. Gigafight, I'm gonna go TrueNAS when I get a disk shelf as well. All right. I want to get more IOPS out of it. Yep, which you can't get with Unraid, period. Yeah, I've always kind of been on the fence, like because my TrueNAS it's network attached storage, and my iSCSI I don't use it in a way that most people do. It's really just an iSCSI target for one of my other machines for just a gigantic hard drive, rather than doing block storage for like virtual machines. So I haven't needed any more performance out of it than gigabit Ethernet, maybe 2, depending on if multiple machines are pulling from it. But it's been pretty good, and yeah, absolutely. Like it'll as long as you got enough RAM in it, and a couple other settings, and probably cache disks or something, the performance is incredible. Thunderstorm, trying to make a playbook to create users on all hosts in my inventory, create an SSH key, then deploy that. I can get it to run without giving it the K flag. And when it does run, sometimes I get SSH time zone of 2 seconds longer than whatever I set the timeout value to. Interesting. K flag, is that to provide a password? I forget what the K flag is. That's the short name for something else. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know off the top of my head. Like I said, not a Ansible expert, but we absolutely do have an automation channel in our Discord. I would love for you to post the error there, and we can dig into it from there for sure. Mr. Trinex, Unraid isn't even a topic when wanting performance. I don't know. I can't comment on that. I haven't heard a lot of things, good or bad. It seems like they're not so good, at least here. Hey, another follow, Nathan. Oh wow, Nate, Nate left. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. And RMB, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Gigafight, it's a very good solution, cost-effective performance. Hey, yeah, I totally agree. All about automation. Hey, speaking of automation, hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. I'm Lymanson. I think I messed up a bit. I should have went with a cheap Dell server like a R710 or a Dell R510 and got my disk shelf. I started out with a 730 XD, which is overkill for my primary TrueNAS server. Yeah, I mean, I can't comment specifically on that server, but that's kind of, that's been my struggle for a long time too. That's been my struggle for a while. And the struggle is, how much resources, am I going to put my hand on straight? I got to look forward. How many resources do I put into my TrueNAS server? And so for me, it was like, I will say that's why I ended up virtualizing it to begin with, because I knew it needed lots of RAM in it, and lots of disks, but I wasn't totally convinced that it needed to be a dedicated machine. There are some niceties about it being a dedicated machine, like when I reboot my virtualization, I don't lose storage for everything on my network. Anyways, that aside, yeah, it doesn't require a lot of compute. What it does require is, you know, a lot of disks to be attached to it, and a lot of RAM for ZFS. And arguably, it doesn't. You know, relatively speaking, it doesn't need a lot of RAM compared to everything else, but it can use a lot of RAM if you give it to it. So I think I have 32 gigs assigned to mine. But the nice part is, because it's part of my virtualization platform, you know, I could give it 32 and give it 16 or whatever, give it more compute if I want. But anyways, yeah, you know, it's tough to gauge those things, especially when you're setting it up. You know, I've been thinking about just building just a super low end one use server again and dedicating to TrueNAS, but I just can't convince myself that I need to not virtualize it anymore and have yet another machine in my rack taking up another 1U and drawing that much power and being its own thing. So I struggle with that too. But hey, maybe you'll end up, you know, you could use your 730 for something else and you know, find something a little bit more low end for TrueNAS. But hey, thick thighs saved lives. Hey, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for the follow. Gigify, just don't ask a lot of write performance from it. Mr. Trinex, indeed. Like it for quick and easy cold storage and VM testing. Yeah. You can migrating more. Wait, you migrating more than birds. Yeah, I like that. I have been migrating. Yeah, for sure. I have been migrating a lot. It's just because I keep finding new ways to do stuff. And I don't know. I was thinking about that last night as, you know, my wife's like, what are you working on now? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just, you know, migrating some of my old servers to my new servers. And she was probably like, what are you even talking about? You have the same servers for the last couple months, but they're all virtual. But I was kind of thinking about that last night. Like, after I do this, I think I'm in a good spot with my infrastructure, you know, famous last words. But I think I'm in a spot where I don't need, there's like no big upgrades or major migrations I need to do anymore. And it's been a lot around here. I mean, it went from, you know, single node, non-HA, Docker install of Kubernetes and Rancher and all my pods running on one place to a semi-flat network, most of my network virtualized, my network appliance virtualized, no VLANs, because I, again, segmented all of my subnets, and my subnets were virtual, except for my primary subnet, which was this one, which was physical. And so I went from all that to what I'm at now, and it's been nonstop migrating, reconfiguring rules for months on end. So after I get this next upgrade down, I think I'll have a little party when I shut down my old Kubernetes cluster and just like not touch anything for a while and focus more on content stuff. But anyways, yeah, it's I'm always upgrading, migrating. I feel like I want to be done with that to focus more on newer, more exciting things. Darkstar OCE, there we go. Thanks for putting in some casing into your name, because I was saying all kinds of weird stuff. Thank you so much for correcting your name and putting some casing in there. Darkstar OCE got LAN cache to run turnkey through LXC container and Proxmox, so it requires like 0 resources from the host other than storage. Nice. Hopefully gonna try to recreate and publish a video so people can get it working too. Nice. Yeah, I hear a lot of great things about LAN cache. I've been considering it too. Yeah, that's it. Nothing more to say about that. I've been considering it too. I just need to figure out how it would help me. I get it that it's going to cache stuff. I have decently fast internet too, so I want to understand how it's going to help me. If there was someone else in the house who did similar things than me, you know, similar workloads or gaming or anything like that, I understand that Windows updates can be cached there too. Then I would be all in. I just need to. I totally understand. I get it why people do it, and people definitely do have a need for it. I just keep trying to convince myself that I need it. But every time I look at, you know, the support or think of how it would apply to me, I can't do it. But convince me. I'd love to. Shivam, I'm Indian but live in the USA. All right. Zoid, great advice, Tim. I'm going to copy the YAML and try to deploy manually stuff. Have it as a Rancher fallback. Appreciate it. Yeah, no problem. And I encourage anyone who's doing anything for Rancher, most people, I think, may or may not realize that Kubernetes is running under the covers. And so you have a full-fledged Kubernetes API there, full-fledged Kubernetes cluster running there. And so I encourage anyone who's kind of, understands Rancher to try to understand kube control and try to understand the Kubernetes API a little bit, and maybe create one deployment that you have in Rancher in a YAML file. And then I encourage you to try to kube control and deploy that service and see it spin up within Rancher or within Kubernetes if you do it, whatever your command is to get your services to display them. Because then you'll start to realize, like, whoa, this is so powerful. I can automate all of this, or I can version control my config files, and I don't have to go through the UI. And if I want to destroy it tomorrow, I know that in my head, like, I don't have to click a bunch of forms. I just save all my config files in a folder and just say kube control apply -f to a folder, and I have most of my infrastructure back up and going. Oversimplifying it for sure. But not oversimplifying it if you're doing only services and you don't have a ton of ingresses or none at all. It gets super easy and it gets super awesome. And then, like I said, maybe someday you'll just be like, hey, Rancher was a great gap solution before I understand Kubernetes. I don't need that UI anymore. I still install it, even though I probably don't need it. It's still nice to have. Because those are the things I get, really easy way to scale up and scale down, and really easy way to understand how my services are doing just at a glance. Like, hey, are all my services okay? Okay. Corner of my eye, see all green lights and nothing to worry about. Shivam added, sorry, you guys are having a conversation there. Inkfaust, by the way, thanks to you, Techno Tim, I've been building a service for cryptocurrency investors. And the first time I ran into your videos deciding the infrastructure, that's when I decided to go with K8s and containers instead of AWS Lambdas, and it's been great. My microservices are now up and running in DigitalOcean with a nice smooth CI/CD on GitHub Actions. That is awesome. Wow, usually people are like, oh, I don't need APIs and I don't need services. I'm gonna go, totally serverless. So that's pretty awesome, man. Congratulations to you. That sounds pretty sweet. So you're building a cryptocurrency service for investors. That is sweet, and then hosted in DigitalOcean. Awesome. You got CI/CD to back it all up. Awesome. GitHub Actions too. I'm all about GitHub Actions now. Hey, Impact XYZ, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm all about GitHub Actions now. Now that I've written a couple pipelines, I think they're pretty cool. It's basically like templating. It's templating instead of writing tons of shell scripts. I mean, you're just exchanging YAML with something, a template. For a bunch of shell scripts I used to use, and it's pretty awesome. Hey, Impact, hey, thanks for the Prime sub. Thank you so much, really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, anyways, hey, thanks for letting me know, Inkfaust. That's so awesome. Hope it goes well for you. You have to let me know. Maze Josh, I did a Ryzen 5 2600 and an XFX Radeon RX 560. Nice, yeah, just small to test the water to see if she wants to keep streaming and enjoys it. I'll upgrade her setup if she does it. If she does, LOL. I like where your head's at. You're just like, we're gonna go with a mediocre, or moderate PC, intro, streaming, gaming PC, and if she sticks with it, upgrade at least the video card. That's awesome. Let me see here. Misanthropy. Hey, how's it going? 3080s are lower and are now being bought up by cryptocurrency miners. So it's either 3090 or something lower end, like the 3060 Ti, in 2 or 3 more months. Okay, so you're helping me justify my purchase of my 3090 today. Well, thank you, because I struggled that one because it's not cheap. But I was kind of like, okay, well, I mean, this card has lasted me for 4 years. My card before that lasted me 4 years, and I'm like, I mean, I know no card's gonna last forever. But I've gotten some good mileage out of my cards, and I hope the 3090 is going to do the same. It just kind of stinks that it's the first one in their next series, so who knows about the next one. But double-digit gains across the board from the 2000 series, and I'm on a 1080. I mean, we're going to have high double-digit gains on everything in my as far as my video card's concerned. And so doesn't struggle now. It'd be great for video editing and great for streaming. So, do I need 24 gigs in a video card? No, because I'm probably not going to be doing any game development or rendering, like 3D rendering or ML. But I guess it's the price you pay to get something. Because I can't wait for 3 more months, while supplies hopefully come back to normal. But yeah, so Sunday I'll go and pick up my 3090. We'll see if it arrives. Kuroi Kage-san, LOL. I guess someone kissed me a sub. P Diddy, if you did, thank you. Yeah. DJ Mathman. Hey, how's it going, DJ Mathman? I'm new. Well, welcome. Glad you're here. Soberbot. Techno Tim, seeing you haven't butchered Shivam's name, you can try pronouncing it. Shivam's name. Can you try pronouncing my name? It's Sudarsan. Oh man, Sudarsan Bhargavan. I'm gonna go with Sudarsan Bhargavan. There we go. I don't know. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm not. Amazing Josh, how's the Rode mic? I was looking at the upgrade of the mic and wanted to get an XLR. Also decided to go with the stand-up desk. Glad you're doing good. Yeah, man. How is this Rode mic? I love this Rode mic. I talk about this Rode mic a lot. Someone was just asking in Discord. This mic is fantastic for a couple of reasons. One, it's dynamic mic. I don't know if that's good or bad, but that definitely, I think it's good because it helps with cancel out echoes. Like it takes a lot more voice to actually activate it, and I have some noise gate stuff on it too. But I think it's fantastic. The thing is like $99, and I had a cheap $20 mic for a long time, and that did kind of okay. This one does amazingly better, and so I love it. It needs phantom power, so if you're not familiar with that, it just needs an additional power to power the microphone. But I get that from my Go XLR. So what I guess I saved on this microphone, buying a quote unquote cheaper one, because this thing is great. Like it looks great, works great. Can't complain. Zero complaints about it. I did have to invest in something to supply phantom power to it. And there are cheap alternatives out there, but I ended up going with the Go XLR Mini. I kind of saved some money there by going with the Mini, but I didn't need like all of the bells and whistles of the big one. And I think it turned out pretty good. So, for about $400 total, the mic and my Go XLR, I have a decent streaming and recording system too. And I love it. I love it. Can't say enough good things about this Rode Pod mic. As soon as I saw it was announced, and I was using my $20 mic forever, I was like, that's the one that I'm going to get as soon as I can buy it. And it took a while for it to come in stock, but I actually found it at B&H had it, but Guitar Center had it, which I've never bought anything from Guitar Center. I don't do any music, so I was like, yeah, kind of makes sense. Microphones, Guitar Center. Yeah, why wouldn't it be there? Anyways, that's where I ended up buying from, and I could pick it up from there. I was like, yeah, I've been happy ever since. Like, couldn't have asked for a better mic. Like, it's so solid. Looks good too. I think it sounds pretty okay. You are going to have to do some tweaking like you do with every microphone you buy. But I think, yeah, between the Go XLR software, the hardware, and this mic, I think it turned out pretty good. Buy some decent XLR cables. That's what I will say. Because I struggled hearing this weird noise for probably about 2 weeks of streaming before I was just like, okay, I'll replace my cable. And sure enough, I did that and fixed everything. I was like thinking it was USB plugged into Go XLR and something with my PC. And it was a long battle to try to figure out the most simplest thing, which was, spend an extra $5 on an XLR cable. And arguably my old one could have worked, but yeah, replacing it fixed it. Sci-Fi Jeep Guy, resub, tier 1, 5 months, dude, 5 month streak, Sci-Fi Jeep Guy. Hope you're doing good, dude. Happy New Year. Hey, Happy New Year to you too, man. Happy New Year to you too. I'm going to get caught up on these. All right. Pinot Noir Superstar, how you doing? Comcast and Spectrum both had outages yesterday. I heard of an outage here too. I'm just next door to you. Oh gosh. Like next door? Do you live by me? Is this someone I know but I don't? That'd be awesome. Yeah, okay. So a lot of outages yesterday. I was just complaining and saying like there was a disturbance in the force, at least for me yesterday with the internet and a lot of tech. And it was, obviously with Slack, I was saying I sensed a disturbance in the force on Sunday. And then yet, I feel like there's still a little bit of, aftershocks going on today. I can't quite put my finger on it, but slower response time, some DNS things not responding. Just the internet just doesn't seem healthy the last couple of days. And so maybe that explains it. I just feel something feels different with the internet. So, hey, thanks for clarifying. Absinthe. I've been tempted to look at the NVIDIA Jetson Nano board, which is effectively a Raspberry Pi with a part of a NVIDIA GPU CUDA sensor or tensor. I like that. That sounds definitely interesting to me. Jetson Nano. I like the name too. I haven't heard of it. I'll have to take a look at it. Yeah, I'm sure NVIDIA is going to start getting into this game more too, right? Everyone's kind of coming into, trying to get into the ARM game. And then, people are dropping NVIDIA. So I think they got to find, and not that they're doing bad, but, they got to find some more revenue streams as if they're not making money enough already. Let's see, they call me Tojo. I started out with 4 Raspberry Pi running an Ubuntu server. When I was comfortable, then I bought a real hardware. Pis are like $20 each. Nice, yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I think Pis are a good intro. Pis are a good intro to a lot of things. And they're also a good intro to then buying a real server because you're like, I need a little more horsepower. But yeah, I will argue though that even though a Pi itself is $20, when it's all said and done, you got at least double, triple that into it. Once you buy, a case, a power supply, a hard drive, they come with Wi-Fi built in now and all that stuff. But once you go all in with that stuff, it's usually double the cost, but you can't complain. It's so cheap for what you get. It's so incredible. Speaking of, I won't go down that. I was going to say other thing that's incredible and affordable. I won't go down that path. Something I saw today. Yaozu. What OS is good to put on a USB when you move between multiple computers? I don't know. I used to kind of do that. Pen drive Linux? I can't remember. No, that's what I used to image my USB sticks with. I don't know. I don't know what a good OS was it pen drive Linux? I can't remember. But no, that's a great question for the community. I don't have a good answer because I haven't done that in a while. It used to be great when I did tech support stuff because it was an easy way to run gparted and an easy way to run, like I would boot from it and run a bunch of like utilities to boot. And then, obviously it would have network drivers if it was Intel and all this stuff. But it's an easy way in to recover files if you wanted. But I never used it like an OS like my daily driver, like I'm gonna sit down and start surfing the web with it. It was always for diagnostics, and usually it was only to recover some files from people's profile on their Windows machine, or test other things or to format a drive or partition a drive, I guess I should say. But yeah, I don't know off the top of my head. CTI Geek, I used to have an IBM WorkPad Z50. Ran a version of Windows CE, mobile Windows. All right. Ubuntu, Debian, Slack, many distros support Live OS. There you go. All right, they call me Tojo. I like it. Type Cookie. I ran a cluster of 4 IBM 3650s with a Proxmox cluster last year. Servers were 175 after 4 500 gig drives and 32 gigs of DDR2 each. We're 175. There were 175? Whoa, that's a pretty good price if I'm reading that correctly. A lot of numbers in there. Sorry, till last year I had them up for 3 years. Wow, that is fantastic. Yeah, it's super solid stuff for sure. PC Geek, hey Tim, have you ever coded a virus or something like that for academic purposes only? Of course, just curious. No. Have I ever written a virus? No, I haven't. I wouldn't even know where to begin. I mean, obviously I could research and kind of figure it out. No, I haven't, to be honest. No. I wish I could say I have, but I haven't. I'm trying to think if I've done anything even similar to where I can say like, yeah, I did that. But no, I haven't. I guess there are lots of ones you can find out there and changed a little bit. But I've never really done it. It would be fun to have in an isolated environment and kind of see what it does. But I've never, I've just kind of stayed away from them in general. You know what I mean? So I haven't. That's a great question. I wish I had played around a little bit more with them, but I've done. I mean, all my years in tech support, where I mean, a majority of the time, especially in the beginning of my tech support life, was cleaning up this junk. It's cleaning up spyware, it's cleaning up viruses, it was recovering data, re-imaging machines, because sometimes that was easier and safer to than dealing with cleaning up a semi-compromised machine. And so a lot of the time I was on the other end of that, fighting that, cleaning that, stopping that. And so, yeah, it would have been cool to, and at that time too, I didn't do any code, did a lot of scripting and automation, but not code like I do today. But that would have been totally fun. But no, I was on the other side of that line, fighting the good fight for PCs and getting them cleaned up and re-imaging and saving people's data and restoring machines. So I never wanted to I never, I guess, got into creating one, even for academic purposes, or even testing it out and running something for fun to see what it does. Because like I said, I was always on the other side of that. But no, that's a good question. Yeah, maybe maybe now I could give it a shot. I'm always, I don't know, a little paranoid about that stuff too. But I have the system and the network to do it too. California. Techno Tim, I like using Manjaro as an Arch-based distro. They have a lot of different desktop environments to try. Yeah, Manjaro, I hear a ton of stuff about it. A guy I used to sit next to, he always used to talk about how much he loved Manjaro. And so, yeah, I've heard a ton about it, but I just haven't done it myself. But yeah, for sure. I just, I almost want to have I used to have an old laptop where it was Linux only, because I was like, okay, like it ran Ubuntu. I'm a huge Ubuntu fan, and I have been. And so most of my servers have been Ubuntu. And so I had a laptop that was always dedicated to Linux. Well, I don't have that laptop anymore. I need that again, just a laptop that I can pick up and be like, okay, when I'm doing these normal tasks that I normally have to do, but not at my desk, I'm going to use Linux. And right now it's my MacBook, because that's what's there. It's pretty performant, and it's what I use for work. But I need to maybe invest in a slightly older laptop that has really good battery life and throw Linux on it, so I can just be using Linux on something again other than all my servers. So I think I have 2 Windows servers. Well, they're not even Windows servers. 2 Windows machines in my environment that aren't servers, they're Windows desktops. The rest are all Linux, but need a Linux desktop environment. Maybe I'll just invest in a cheap laptop again. Hey, so there was Lil Flu. Hey, thanks for the follow, appreciate it, welcome. And the Milk Maiden, hey, thanks for the follow, appreciate it, welcome. CTI, let me see, CTI Geek, is there a Discord for the stream? Where's Tim reading from? Yeah, so there is. We have a Discord server, absolutely, but yeah, PC Geek got it. So I try to address everybody's comments, unless they're not directed at me, or if they're just, sometimes I might skip over them because I don't see them. But for the most part, I try to address every comment. If you have something you want to say directly to me, absolutely at me. That's the easiest way for me to see, but I just try to go through what people are saying. For the most part. Anak, oh, this is a tough one. Anaquin, I'm going with Anaquin PM. Hey, from Argentina, thanks for your content. Hey, thanks for being here all the way from Argentina, appreciate it. All about animation. All right, working on a feature film, but can't tell which one. All right, let me know when you figure it out. Cool game. Is there any good hot swap drive server case that's affordable and good? I want to make a server with a 3900X for my new ESXi server. Yeah, that one's tough, especially for the hot swappable drives. Yeah, PC Geek recommends Roswell or Chenbro. I do too. My Chenbro though, at least the Chenbro one I have, for the most part doesn't have hot swappable drives. Sorry, my throat is like, sorry. Sorry, doesn't have hot swappable drives. That's tough. It's tough when you start getting into like consumer server stuff. It's a little more expensive. Actually, it's a lot more expensive. Consumer stuff generally is pretty cheap compared to enterprise stuff. But when you start and get into, it's not full enterprise, it's and I hate to say prosumer, but when you started getting into like consumer server stuff, but it's not full enterprise, you know, it's a little bit pricier too. My Chenbro case was pretty expensive, which I hated to pay the price, but you know, I needed something that was for you that could hold a couple of video cards that could fit in a server rack, and so I did it. So yeah, once you start getting, because it's niche, right? It's niche. A lot of the stuff, you know, rack mountable consumer stuff is pretty niche. So that's why sometimes your money goes a little bit further getting used enterprise. Because if you're buying new, you know, new consumer niche server stuff, it gets a little expensive. Especially when you then tack on you want hot swappable bays, because then it needs a backplane, right? That's going to add to the cost there too. Probably for a company who doesn't normally make cases and motherboards that have backplanes, you know. So yeah, I mean, this is all kind of speculation, but I don't know off the top of my head. PC Geek mentioned Rosewell and Chenbro. That would absolutely be a good place to start because they play in that space for sure. Hi, Lude. You can tell us we're good at keeping secrets. Oh man. Oh, about the the movie. I'm so confused. I would like to know too. I would like to know too what feature film you're working on. Let's see here. Geekfez. When it comes to servers, do you recommend pre-build or build your own? Don't know if you already answered this question. Sorry, my throat is getting really bad. I might have to wrap it up here in a little bit, but I'll answer this. You know, when it comes to servers, if you're going to do rack mount stuff, the easy, affordable way, and probably the eco-friendly way too, is to go after used enterprise stuff, right? Stuff that's not being used anymore, like my Dell R710, right? I bought that from, it's probably been used by a couple of companies. I bought it from a company, Tech Mike NY. I don't know. He sells a lot of these servers and he puts a stamp on all of them. I got one of his. No clue where that was before. No clue if all the parts came from the same server. Probably didn't, but I'm cool with that because it worked fantastic, super reliable. And so now, you know, I'm going to be getting rid of mine and it'll go on to someone else. So anyways, moral of the story is, if you want to get a really good value, used enterprise stuff is where to go, especially when you're getting into, like, I keep going back to Dells, but the R720s, R710s, I would go with the 720 if you can. It's a really, really great value. I mean, you're going to get something that has 144 gigs of RAM. Most of them are topped out at that, the ones you find for sale. DDR3, but that doesn't really matter. They're going to have 2 CPUs in them, probably 6 cores with hyper-threading. So you're going to get, you know, 24 threads. You're going to get 2 power supplies. You're going to get lots of fans, and you're going to get a rack mount server. Then they're probably going to throw 6 3-terabyte drives in there. You know, so you're getting a pretty good value. And most of the time I see those going from anywhere from, you know, $500, $600, $700. And I'm not saying that that's everyone can afford that, but that's a really good value for the compute you're getting and you know, the server that you're getting. So anyways, if you start going into build your own, like, then I would just recommend older, not older, but you know, desktop class hardware. That's on the cheaper side, more affordable side. You're not going to get that much RAM. You're not going to get that much compute. You're probably not going to get an ECC RAM, unless you go down the used enterprise route. So, you know, I've done it every way. But like I even converted one of my PCs to the Chenbro case and said, you know what? I just need a desktop class processor in here. It's an old Haswell. I need 2 video cards in there to run Proxmox with 2 different virtual machines and pass through those GPUs to those 2 virtual machines and do this one job. And it worked fantastic at doing that. So, you know, that's where I didn't spend any additional money except for the case. And I just migrated all my stuff into that case. Then I had a rack mount server. You know, that was my old PC and it was fantastic. Still in there now. And I think I'll keep that 4U1 forever because it's so flexible. Because if I need to drop in video cards, I need to do anything, at the end of the day, it's a desktop PC that's in there that has, you know, 5 PCI Express slots that I can do anything with. And so I think I'll always keep that one. That's like going to be my utility / testbed / basically my utility server. So anyways, when you start getting into customizing and building your own, I mean, I wouldn't say I built my own, but you know, I went with Super Micro bare bones server. It's not so bare bones, but You get everything except for CPU and RAM. And hard drives. You gotta find all that yourself. But, you know, that can get kind of expensive. And you know, the cost is a little bit misleading. Like you see it and you're like, yeah, it's $500-600. Well, you don't have a CPU in there. You don't have RAM yet. DDR4 RAM's pretty expensive, still is, will be for a long time. And I didn't have any hard drives in there, so that added to the cost. I have more money. I have more money in RAM than I do in anything else. You know, 512. I have half a terabyte of ECC RAM, DDR4. It's not cheap, and so those are the things you'll want to consider. But if you're looking for a great value, I probably sound like a broken record, but absolutely great value is find something used that somebody doesn't want anymore, especially Dell R720, even 710, I would argue is still a good machine. And depending on what you're going to do, you can find them for a really good price, and it saves it from going to a landfill. Not that someone's going to throw one of those in a landfill, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Hey, one Josh, 13, resub, 3 months. Thank you so much. 3 months. Love you. Hey, thanks. Love you too, man. Thank you so much. And 3 Nah, man. Hey, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ilu, depends if you like troubleshooting hardware issues or if you want a more turnkey solution, you can get to software stuff. Yeah, thanks, Ilu. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, great perspective on that too. I was going after raw dollars, but you're going after supportability and maintainability. I love it. Thank you. Depends on your budget too. Yeah, for sure. I'm Lymanson. I like buying used enterprise gear. I feel like you get more for your money than buying individual pieces of hardware and putting them together. You can get some good servers on eBay for around $200. Yeah, I'm Lymanson. Yeah, right there with you. I was just talking about the value play. I totally agree. You can find some really great deals. You absolutely can, especially if you're a deal seeker and you're a patient buyer. If you're a patient buyer, yeah, you absolutely can. And if you know all the parts you want and you buy them piece by piece, or maybe the chassis at once and everything else later, you can get some really, really good deals. When I bought mine, I wasn't so patient. And I bought it all in one, but it was nice. The Tech Mike NY, I think that's his name. He sells a lot of old servers. A lot of people have them. Anyways, he puts a warranty on it for, I don't know, 30, 60 days. I'm like, yeah, this seems like a good deal for me. And plus I needed mine like in a pinch because I was going to do YouTube videos on a server. I'm like, kind of need it. But anyways, if you're a patient buyer and you can wait, you can absolutely find fantastic deals on eBay and piece it together yourself of used enterprise stuff. Cypher, hey, resub, tier 2, 3 months. Dude, thank you so much. Glad to have caught you. Shouty, you the best. All right, Shouty. Hey, thank you so much, Cypher. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Vino Thacker. Hey, Tim, what are you running in Raspberry Pi? Please, could you do a video on Nagios or Zabbix for server monitoring? Possibly. Like so I have some monitoring and some measurement stuff coming soon. How soon? I'm not sure. Will it be Nagios and Zabbix? Not too sure. I mean, I hear a lot of great things about them. To be honest, like I got burnt out on Nagios. This one company I worked for used Nagios, and it was I can still hear that buzzer in my ear going off. I don't know if it was a plugin, but that like that buzzer when a service is down, like I can still hear that to this day, because it used to, every time I was in the data center, just be going off nonstop, just because one of the services somewhere was down. And so, I mean, nothing against Nagios. It's a fantastic product, but oh man, I couldn't imagine having Nagios at home and hearing that. I would just... Anyways, long story short, I have some measurement and some monitoring stuff planned. Will it be Nagios and Zabbix? Not sure yet. But I think they're both great solutions, and a lot of people talk about them a lot. So maybe you'll just have to see. I don't know what it will be yet. One Josh, dude, gifted two tier 1 subs. Dude, thank you so much, One Josh. Hope you're doing good, man. Thank you so much. Which it is? I can't pronounce that. Apologize. That's a lot of consonants together. And Vinoth Vacker. Hey, thank One Josh for your gifted sub. So I appreciate it. I'm gonna try to go through these really fast because my throat is super dry. And it's getting close to that time, but I'll try to go through these fast. My biggest use case for LAN cache has been to quickly get back games I've uninstalled in the past or lost due to reformatting a driver OS. Yeah, absolutely. I for sure agree. I think LAN cache really shines for those things that you need to download or do again, for sure. And arguably, even for updates for all my Linux machines, I could cache all those. I save the cache. They'll never get downloaded again, most likely. But for games, yeah, for sure, absolutely. Especially if you had kids and like you play games with your kids. Oh yeah, that would be so sweet. It'd be so sweet. Just having like a cache set up and everyone downloads, Steam games, or multiple installs of whatever. Name your epic game, Fortnite everywhere, and having that cache there. It sounds awesome. Sounds awesome for sure. Soberbot. People here, I need a cool name for self-organizing clusters project. I was thinking of calling it Draugr, which is a create in Norse mythology, a creature in Norse mythology, which is undead, and it can increase in size by so many folds, sort of like scaling. Yeah, go Draugr then. Why would you not? That sounds fantastic. Yeah, go Soberbot. I've never heard that word before, but just you explaining that is exactly what a cluster is or should be. So go with it. I say go with it. Darkstar OC, yeah, it allows me to only have one SSD in my machine because the storage and games on the servers. Whether that also be iSCSI, yeah, absolutely, yeah. iSCSI targets are fantastic to be able to have remote hard drives, especially for smaller machines. Yeah, that's a good point. iLude sounds like you worked it already. All right, thank you. Snoopy, is the Kate's install worth installing? Here we go. Is the Kate's install worth installing at initial install? A lot of installs in there of OS. I'm not sure what you're going after. So let me know. Not quite clear on that. The K has become password. Yeah, the flag. Thank you. Absent, just completed my PC. Nice. All right, guys, I got to scroll through these. I apologize that I'm a little bit behind, but I do have to kind of wrap it up because my throat's super dry and it's getting a little bit late. I'm going to look for comments where people specifically mention me. I know that you guys are having conversations in here, and that's absolutely fantastic, but I just want to make sure that I'm not going to skip over Hype Train again. How did I get two Hype Trains? Oh, man, you guys are awesome. I just want to make sure I'm not going to skip over anything where someone specifically mentioned me. Here. Whoa. Was that it? I was actually pretty close. So I'll go through the last couple. One, Josh, I'm not as fluent in Python as Django as I thought. This app I'm making integrating Stripe is kicking me in the butt. Yeah. Oh man. I haven't done any Django. I've done some Python and Flask for sure. Hey, X, I'm gonna go with me CMX. Hey, thanks for the sub, appreciate it. Prime sub, thank you so much. One, Josh, also vouch for Tech Mike NY. Got servers from him too. Need to retire my 720 soon though. Yeah, I think he's got a fantastic thing going for himself. Cypher, shout out you the best. All right, thank you so much. I'm Lymanson. The server I bought this week was a Dell R720. Nice, 166 gigs of ECC RAM, one CPU, 6 3.5 hard drives, 500 gigs a piece, and the Dell front case for $200. Pretty happy with that sale. Just missing 10 gig networking card. Used enterprise is the way to go. Yeah, I totally agree. You got a heck of a deal, a great value. I'll say that, great value, because not everyone can afford that, but I mean, your money goes so far when you get used enterprise stuff, especially when you're, Dell 720. That's like the bread and butter. PC Geek update for Linux apt, and you can use apt cache ng, and it runs in Docker containers. I like it. It can be set to a mirror so it will load all packages locally. I like that too. Yeah, for sure. I should do that. I have enough Linux servers here where I might be able to justify that. Shivam, thank you so much for your help. Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks so much for being here. Snoopy, I'll ask about it in Discord later. Thank you so much. Yeah, appreciate that. That would be super helpful. Hey, I did get caught up. I did skip over, I think, a couple. If you have any questions, you can absolutely follow up with me either on Twitter, Discord. Oh, sorry, I'm like knocking my desk down. But yeah, if you have any more questions, absolutely hit me up on Discord, hit me up on Twitter. If you haven't joined the Discord, you're new here, you can absolutely join it. I think PC Geek posted a few times. If I can, oh, now I did. Oh, I didn't notice I had a emoji celebration in there too, along with the command I was trying to type. But if you haven't joined, I would encourage you to join. You can join there. There's no pressure at all. Don't need to talk. But there's a lot of people in there who are passionate about a lot of the same things we're passionate about. A lot of those people are in here too in the channel, and I really appreciate you being here. Hey, really quick, Carsy Garage. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Carsies. Yeah, I'm going with Carsies Garage. But anyways, as I was saying, I absolutely encourage you to join. Absolutely no pressure. Maybe it's not your thing. Totally fine. But what I do appreciate is you being here tonight. So I really appreciate it. Got you. You got it. All right. Carsey's Garage. I like it. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Home Lab New. Have a good one, Tim. Great stream. Congrats on the all something. Thank you. Yeah. And that's what I was getting to. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. For the double sub hype, for the incredible sub hype before I even went live. That was pretty amazing. I really appreciate it. And I do wholeheartedly appreciate it, and I thank you so much. And like I try to always say, but I always definitely mean, is that like just spending time and being here on the channel is more than I could have ever asked for. So I really appreciate it. Penguin Airlines, how you been, man? Good to see you. Yeah, I am wrapping it up. You know the wrap it up button has already been pressed, and I'm I'm in autopilot now to wrap it up because of my throat. And because it's getting a little bit later, but I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I will be back on Saturday. I will have something for you guys on Saturday morning too. If you have any questions, like I said, hop in Discord, hit me up on Twitter. That's all down below. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the week. Hopefully we don't have any other weird disturbances again in DNS. And Gorfy, dude, man. 5 gifted subs, dude. Gorfy, yeah, totally. He just said sudo. What's the shutdown command when you don't want it to shut down? It's like sudo shutdown p. I don't know. Windows. It was always like shutdown -p 0 or something, and you could stop the shutdown command. Whatever that is, you just stop the shutdown command. So I appreciate it. Dude, Gorfy, thank you so much. 5 tier 1 gifted subs. Dude, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I was just saying to everyone, like, thank you so much. And yeah, it's incredible how much. Yeah, shutdown down A. Yeah, there you go, Pinot Noir superstar. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, shutdown -A. So if you ever did a shutdown on Windows from command line and you wanted to abort the command, you use /A, and I've used that quite a few times. Saved my butt. So Gorfy just did the shutdown.exe-a to abort the shutdown, and so did P Diddy. Oh my gosh, Gorfy, dude, thank you so much. Uga Guiburo. Man, these are hard to pronounce. I apologize. It's not your name. It's my angle. Durf Bay, Katie Skills, Ethan. That's a hard one. Ethan the Sag 36 in the truck. I think that's right. Hey, enjoy your gifted sub from Gorfy. And dude, P Diddy, gift him more subs. Dude, appreciate it. I really appreciate it, dude. You were out of, you were so, yeah, so generous. Dude, thank you so much. P Diddy gifted 5 tier 1 subs. The Beeve, Techno Babble program, like it. Username, alias, like it. California, yeah, like it. AppSumo, like it. Nice, great names. Thank you so much. And also thank P Diddy for those gifted subs. Oh my gosh, keep them alive. No. Yes, totally. You guys, this is the yeah, run as administrator, shutdown.exe-a. Someone executed that. But no, I really appreciate it. And thank you so much. I feel like I have to like restart my whole entire wrap it up comment. But no, I do have to run. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys on Twitter. I'll see you guys for sure on Discord tonight, because I'll be there probably here in about 10-15 minutes after I grab a drink and do a couple things. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, as always, be good to each other. Take care. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.